If your job has you on your feet all day, you know the feeling. That end of shift 8 that just seems to radiate from your back all the way down to your feet. Well, in this explainer, we're not just going to talk about how to manage that pain, we're going to talk about how to prevent it from happening in the first place.
Does this sound familiar? You finally clock out, and that first feeling you have isn't relief, no. It's this deep, throbbing ache in your back, your legs, maybe your feet are just screaming at you. It's a painful reminder that your workday took a pretty serious physical toll.
Okay, so let's get right into it and look at what's really happening to your body. We're calling this first part the daily grind because we're about to uncover some of the hidden physical costs of spending all day on your feet. Now, the first thing you have to know is this. If you feel this way, you are so far from being alone. I mean, we're talking about millions of people, folks in retail, in healthcare, in food service, who are dealing with this exact same problem, day in and day out. And these things here, they're more than just feeling a little tired. This nagging lower back pain, those heavy aching legs, the sore feet. A lot of the time, these are the first warning signs of what experts call work-related musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs. Think of it like your body's check engine light. It's signaling that the daily strain is starting to cause some real wear and tear. And often that very specific shooting pain from your lower back down your leg actually has a name, sciatica. And, really understanding what it is, that's the first step to being able to fight it. So let's decode this thing. So, what in the world is sciatica? Well, according to Medline Plus, it's basically pain that travels along the path of your sciatic nerve. The key here is that the nerve gets compressed or pinched, usually right there in your lower back. And one of the biggest culprits for that pressure, yep, you guessed it, standing for long periods without the right support or movement.
So how do you know if what you're feeling might be sciatica? Well, you want to look for these telltale signs. It's typically not just a dull ache. It's often a sharp, shooting pain. You might even feel weakness or that weird pins and needles sensation down your leg. And here's the kicker. The pain gets noticeably worse the longer you stand.
All right, enough about the problem, right? Let's talk about the solution. And it's this incredibly powerful concept called ergonomics. It's really all about working smarter, not harder, so you can avoid pushing through that pain to begin with.
And this quote from OSHA, it just captures the entire philosophy perfectly. For way too long, the mindset has been that people just have to adapt to a tough, sometimes damaging job. Well, ergonomics completely flips that script. The whole idea is simple, but it's revolutionary. The job should be designed to fit you. This slide really brings home that huge shift in thinking. The old way, over there on the left, it's all reactive, right? It's about toughening it out, ignoring the pain, until boom, it becomes a full-blown injury. But the ergonomic way, on the right, it's proactive. It's about being a detective, understanding the root cause, changing your environment, and stopping that injury from ever even happening.
Okay, so how do you actually do this? How do you put this into practice during your next shift? Well, let's build your own personal prevention toolkit. It all starts with two simple but incredibly effective strategies.
And here they are. These are two of the biggest hazard controls that OSHA recommends for jobs that require a lot of standing. Number 1, rotating your tasks, and number 2, mastering your footwear. Let's break each of these down. First up, job rotation. The idea is to vary your posture. This sounds so basic, but trust me, it is a total game changer. The whole point is to avoid being locked into one single position for hours on end. So, for example, if you're a cashier, can you maybe swap out and do 30 minutes of stocking shelves? Just by switching things up, you vary the demands on your body, and you give those overworked muscles a much-needed break. And the benefits, they're immediate and they're real. You're fighting what's called static muscle fatigue. That's when a muscle is just held tense for way too long. You're giving your lower back a rest, you're getting your blood flowing, and you're letting one set of muscles recover while another group takes over. It's a fundamental principle for preventing those overuse injuries.
All right, on to our second strategy. And this one is absolutely non-negotiable. It's your footwear. Think about your body like a house. Your shoes are the foundation. Now, if that foundation is unstable or cracked, the whole house above it is going to have problems, right? It's the exact same thing for your feet, your knees, and yes, your back.
So, what makes a good foundation? This little chart breaks it down perfectly. You want to look for plenty of cushioning to absorb the shock from those hard floors. You want to keep the heel low. Under an inch is really the sweet spot. And you absolutely have to have proper arch support. Whatever you do, avoid those thin, flat, worn-out shoes. They are a direct ticket to a world of pain.
You know, the biggest thing I want you to take away from all of this is a sense of empowerment. Having a workday that doesn't end in horrible pain isn't some crazy luxury. It is an absolutely achievable goal. It really just comes down to applying these simple, smart, ergonomic ideas. So let's do a super quick recap of the key takeaways. First, that nagging pain you feel, it's a real medical issue, an MSD. 2, ergonomics is the solution, and it means fitting the work to you, not the other way around. 3, your two biggest weapons in this fight are job rotation and proper footwear. And most important of all, you have the power to put these ideas into practice and prevent injuries.
And that brings us to the most important part of all, taking action. I'm going to leave you with this one question to really think about. Based on everything we just covered, what is one small ergonomic change you can start advocating for at your job this week? Maybe it's just starting a conversation about task rotation. Or maybe it's finally investing in that right pair of shoes. Whatever it is, start small. But please, start this week.